The organization known as People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, is comprised of murderers, hypocrites, and vehement haters of humankind. Yes, the sad truth is that PETA kills innocent, healthy animals by the thousands, while doing everything in its ability to damage the well-being of humans. When farmers, hunters, and scientists kill animals, this is not murder. The animals are killed with a clear purpose in mind, be it to obtain food, to develop cures for diseases, or to engage in a contest of skill against an animal which has a high likelihood of winning. The people whom PETA targets, the people who feed us and protect us from disease, give their animals a much higher standard of living and a much longer life expectancy than those same animals would have had in the wild. Furthermore, most of the people who keep animals for commercial purposes do not even kill them at all. They use them for milk, eggs, wool, and other byproducts that require the animal to be alive to produce and replenish them. PETA, on the other hand, simply picks up animals which pose no threat to anybody, healthy, harmless cats, dogs, and other creatures, allegedly to give them out for adoption. But the numbers speak to the contrary. Between 1998 and 2005, PETA picked up 17,797 animals, but only gave 3,047 of them out for adoption, and transferred another 331 to other shelters. The remaining 14,419 were simply euthanized, a kill rate of 81%. In 2005 alone, PETA killed 1,946 of the 2,145 animals in its custody, a kill rate of a sickening 90.7%. When an animal is confronted by a hunter, it has a chance to run away, hide, or even fight back. Hunters respect their prey and will let it escape if it has put up a courageous resistance. Furthermore, hunters do not target females or the young, aware that their hunting activities can only be sustained if they allow the animal population to replenish itself. On the other hand, animals who are euthanized by PETA have no chance to defend themselves, and PETA kills puppies and kittens as often as it kills grown dogs and cats. These animals do not pose a public health risk, so there can be no justification for killing them to protect humans from disease. PETA opposes eating animals or using their remains for any commercial purposes, so it simply stores their corpses in an enormous walk-in freezer for which it claimed a $9,370 write-off on its 2002 income tax return. So, we should not kill animals to eat them or to do research, but we should kill them just to kill them? PETA argues that it only euthanizes the animals because of its inability to bear the costs of doing otherwise. Yet this organization takes in about $29 million per year, surely enough to support around 2,500 animals per year in tolerable conditions. Indeed, if this much money were allocated equally to each animal, PETA could afford to spend $11,600 per year per creature in its care. A person could live on that much. Indeed, if PETA were genuinely devoted to the well-being of animals, it would focus all of its efforts on providing a safe, comfortable shelter to all the animals in its care, instead of embarking on outrageous and deleterious campaigns to ban drinking milk and eating chicken, and to bully honest businessmen into accommodating and paying for PETA's bizarre antics. Cost is not an issue here. PETA euthanizes animals because its leadership wants to, and thousands of well-intentioned donors, including young children, fall for the trap, thinking that PETA will actually use their contributions to care for animals and prevent needless deaths. The so-called animal rights movement deserves to be renamed the Animal Wrongs movement. What PETA does to its animals is identical in spirit to the vehement recent demands of animal rights activists in Berlin to murder a sweet, playful, and friendly baby polar bear named Knut, simply because the bear had been raised by the staff of the Berlin Zoo after his mother refused to care for him. The activists argued that the baby bear ought to die rather than suffer the indignity of being raised in captivity, where polar bears live considerably longer than they do in the wild. But this was a mild version of the true argument. The true argument being that Knut was a freak who deserved to die because he was not raised in a, quote, natural setting. This was the tone and content of the numerous violent death threats that the zoo received. Fortunately, Knut was well guarded and has been able to grow up in safety, in the meantime delighting millions of visitors and online viewers of YouTube films with him as the star. PETA is no different from the would-be killers of Knut. PETA opposes all human uses of animals, including keeping animals as pets, as a matter of principle. Thus, it views pets as freaks who need to die, just like the animal wrongs activists' portrayal of Knut. Anything not purely, quote, natural is for PETA deserving of a swift, gruesome elimination. The ultimate goal, of course, is to damage human beings by depriving them of virtually all the benefits they can gain from the world around them. PETA's ideal world is a place where humans cannot use animals for anything, even for companionship, and the animals will ceaselessly suffer, die, and go extinct in the natural way as they have for hundreds of millions of years before human beings came along and gave some animals a tolerable degree of security and comfort. If you truly care about the well-being of animals and wish humans to benefit from animals as much as possible without killing them needlessly, then animal rights activists ought to be your primary foes. They have the exact opposite objective. They would rather harm animals in order to endanger humans than permit both humans and animals to prosper alongside each other.